Good morning. It's been a while since the last video. I've just been a bit too busy with everything else. I've done a few bits in the greenhouse, not vast amounts. I've been sorting out the wife's car. I did a load of work in the house, such like, but trying to get back into it a little bit now. The weather seems to be warming up slightly. I'll give a little bit of a tour and explain what I'm going to try and get up to. So I'll grab the camera, spin it round. And there we go. Let's fold that in. Right. Some of the potatoes are still chipping away. These are actually going in today. That's going to be one of my jobs. Got those ones down there. I've planted some bush marrows. I've got some black kale there because the other ones I planted haven't come up. Turk's cap squash, ichikuri squash, courgette. These are a new variety, in actual fact. Let me just remember the name. That's it, shooting star courgette. The idea is they're supposed to be a climbing type. Rather than growing in a bush, they'll climb up some sort of vine, but we'll see what they go like. And then obviously there's the normal yellow courgettes. These are all my chilies. And these ones, so far, nothing's come up, but waiting still. Tomatoes, I've got one. Bunching onions, I think I may have planted a few too many close together, but we'll see. Two different types of leeks. The white wonder cucumbers, little fingers aubergine, long purple aubergine, getting a few of those starting to break through. Got some black magic kale, some rainbow chard. These are the scarlet kale that haven't grown at all, so I don't actually know what's gone on with them. These are all rosemary cuttings. I've got some of the ones growing in water, some growing into the pots there. Oh, there's cuttings from Josta berries that I took last year. That's just a few bits and bobs under there. Now, out here at the moment is an absolute mess. I've already got my first early potatoes in. I put those in the other day. You got the red barons, I think it is, and then the Ulster Prince. 4 pots of each. Sorry about the shadows, but the sun's still very low down. I've managed to get an IBC rigged up. I had to set my jet wash up, climbed up ladders, and that cleaned the percentage of the roof off to get rid of the moss. I'm just waiting on this part here to be redone. So I've linked up the log store, come down, and then branched it down into the IBC. As you can see, we've only had a little bit of rain so far, so we're only up to there at the moment. But, you know, end of the day, it's I think, what is it, 1,000 litres if it gets filled up. But the idea with that will be, use that as a catchment one. Then one of the others I've got over there, I'm going to put down the lower part right in the corner there, or the opposite corner behind the polytunnel if it will fit. And then I've got some attachments that go on the flute, and then I can connect a hose pipe from one to the other and hopefully use gravity to push it from there into the one down there, which I'll then use for watering the tunnel and the beds. If that doesn't work, the idea was going to be get another lid, because these are fairly pressurized. Put a car pump valve into the lid and then just use my little air compressor to rig to it to slightly pressurize it and just help to push the water under. But that's for another day. That's one of the other little projects I've got at the moment. I've managed to get hold of an old whacker, but it needs a new pull start and the cup that goes on here. So if anybody is any good at identifying, see if I can get in there. I'm going to have to turn it sideways so people might have to pause it and have a look if it'll work. No, it's not even going to go. There. So if anybody's any good at identifying models, if they can let me know what this one is, the engine, so I can try and get the right parts. Right, the job after I finish this part of the recording is I've got to start cleaning out all the 30-litre buckets, going through all these, getting them cleaned up. I've got some others over there being guarded by the dog. There's little smelly belly. There she is. Keeping an eye on them, make sure nobody walks off with them. Right. As I say, I've got all berries and stuff like that there. I'm actually thinking about the gooseberries. I may very well start planting them into the half blue barrels, clearing the wood from down the side of the greenhouse here and stacking them down there, but hopefully on a weed membrane. But again, that's another one. These are most of the plants that are going to go around the Wise Pond when they're done. That's more of the soil that I had left over when I did the polytunnel, so that's got to go through the little passed out Tremel. It got blown over in the wind. More pots to clean out. That's just the mud pile there. That's still got to be sieved through now and put onto this bed when it's been weeded. This is the gap that if I can get hold of the pallets, I'm going to build the pallet bay compost bins along here, because then the IBCs won't be there anymore. Because the other one, as I say, there's one going down the back of the polytunnel. The other one at the far end of the house over here, there's a little inlet just in the side there with another down gutter for the bulk of that roof. Well, I'm going to put that there. Bella, what? So there'll be one extra, and that's the one I haven't figured out yet, but I may even, once it's worked out, resell one of them to make some of the money back. Obviously that's my slab pile. That's got a bit smaller. Oh yeah, because I didn't mention, I don't know whether anybody's realised that the inside of the greenhouse, I've slabbed it out. It's not brilliant, it's only on the surface of the soil, but I've raked it out as flat. These are old aquarium stones down through the middle just to fill the gap, because I didn't want to cut more. Let me just shout at my dog, sorry. Bella! Quiet! Bella! There she goes, guarding the village again. I don't know if you can see her down that bottom corner. Yeah, got the ump now because I spoilt her fun. Got my single solitary leek, but I'm leaving it in there as long as I can to get one out of it. All the celery, celeriac, everything died. These are the onions, garlic and shallots that a couple of videos ago all went in. I'm not sure how much of this you can see properly because I've got the sun on the screen. Shallots, onions, red onions, white ball onions. I think that's more shallots there, I'm not 100% sure. Definitely shallots over there. Some of the elephant garlic has started coming through. So this strip down there was the elephant garlic. So that's doing alright. That's more of the shallots there. And a couple of other varieties of garlic. They're all coming up really well. Right, this bed in the middle here I've got to sort out soon. I've got a load of the squash that ended up going rotten, but that was my fault. I left them there and just forgot about them, to be honest. These are the pots where I had all the chili plants in. None of them survived. I didn't manage to get any fleecing on them or anything to try and keep them, but they'll all just get sieved through for the compost. Reuse that. Right, one little recommendation I've got. I had a problem with moles in the garden. Hopefully you heard that. These. Just solar powered mole deterrers, as they call them. If they get too annoying when you're working near them, there's an on-off switch there, but they don't really bother me. Now, I bought 4 of them for £22, I think it was. I've got one just there. There's another one. I'm trying to see the tree myself now. I think we're looking at about, I can't get the sun. the tree that I think is about there. There's one at the base of that. And then the last one is, again, I can't see very well because of the screen, but it's about there in the grass. Now, I put them in because the moles here were really bad. I mean, you can see all the little mud clots everywhere. I put them in. Within 2 days, there's not been another molehill since. And that was at least a month ago. All I saw the following days, in the other side of the hedgerow here, there were little tracks going out into the field. So I think it's literally, they've just literally cleared straight out that way. But also, since I put them in, I've had no rats in the polytunnel. Because they were digging under the door at the back and coming in. So I can highly recommend putting them in and see if that works for rodent deterring as well. But anyway, back to the reason I came in here. The Helios. Tomato halos. Managed to get hold of some of these. Now, this middle bed is going to be my tomato bed. But what I'm intending to try and do is to grow a row of carrots, beetroot, any small sort of root vegetables, beetroot, carrot, small radishes, anything like that along, because there'll be a strip in the centre empty and there'll be a thin strip either side empty. Because what I'm doing is 2 foot between the centre of each plant there. So pretty much exactly where that is. And then there'll be a 2 foot, let me just get that out of the way. There'll be approximately a 2 foot gap going that way. So there'll be in rows of 2s all the way down there. So that'll be quite good. And like I say, the carrots and that up through the centre of there. I've got to have another little weed on that one because I'm getting some of the bigger weeds coming through again. But it's a work in progress. We keep fighting at them and trying to get them through. Over here, we've got the swede that I planted before Christmas. I don't know if I can get the camera in. Just see that there's a few of them starting to get little ball ups. Some haven't done anything, but there's a couple, and a couple's better than nothing. The turnips I've got to take out because they're getting too big now. So what I'll end up doing them is I'll probably make a turnip and Jerusalem artichoke soup. That's the Mooley radish. They're doing really well. I'll keep popping the odd one up. They go into curries, stews, casseroles, all really nice. But anyway, Poop just walking around. Let me just... I'm not even sure if you can see me at all with this light. Right, I'm going to get going for now. I'm going to clear up a load of these pots, sort out the compost ready. And then when I'm getting ready to start planting the potatoes, I'll give you a shout and we'll go from there. In a bit. Right, it's now the following day. Took me a little bit longer than I thought to clean all the buckets. Little correcting from the last one. The first earlies that I planted, Ulster Prince was the right one, but the other one is not Red Baron, that's an onion. It's the Red Duke of York first early. The ones I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to plant my main crop ones before my second earlies because they're going to take up more pots, I think, because I only put 2 in each. So I have got the Sapo Mira going in. Got the Sapo Axona. And then we've got the Blue Annalise. So that's the 3 main crop ones. So they're the ones going in next. They'll be coming into some of these lot here. I'm not sure exactly how many it's going to take yet, but we'll get there. I'll set up and then I'll show you how I do them. Pretty much exactly the same as how everybody else does them, but it will just get a bit going. All right, catch you in a mo. Right, hopefully you can hear me. It's a bit breezy out here at the moment. Now, same as everybody else seems to be doing, I use spent compost that's saved from previous growings. Just get this about 3-4 inches. Let it shake out. Break it up properly. Now, put a scoop, bloodfish and bone. Give it a good mix up. Level that out. Right. Let me just double check to make sure everybody can see. About as good as I can get it. Right, and with the main crops, I only do 2 potatoes per bucket. So I'm putting one of the larger ones in with one of the smaller ones. Again, knobble, that's the umbilical there. Put that downward. Same with that, umbilical there. That down there like that. Now that's all the potatoes I'll put in that bucket, because to my understanding is these ones will come up and they'll grow off the stems as they come up. Whereas the first earlies and second earlies are on the layers. So there'll be 2 there and then another 2 there part way up. But, right, let me just find my bucket. Right, then what I do, break up the compost a bit more again. Yeah, load of that in there. So that's about just over half a bucket, 3/4 of a bucket. Again, another level scoop, don't put too much in. Give that a mix. Try and get right down to the bottom if you can. And just put that straight on. And all I do is more of the spent compost on top. I'm just trying to see if I've got something bigger to scoop it with. As always, no. Right, so I'll just have to keep doing that. Try and keep it a bit broke up so there's not any big lumps in there. Now, I don't put any more bloodfish and bone in the top layer because I'm going to give them a liquid feed later in the season anyway. That's made with the nettles and the comfrey. I just do like a mixed multi-purpose liquid feed that I make up. Now I'll leave that one at that, and then as that sinks down I'll top it up at a later one. But yeah, I've got the rest of these to carry on to, and then I'll come back to you when I've done the rest of these ones. Alright. Alright, there we go. I've moved the first earlies tucked up around here for now, just to keep them out of the way. These are all the main crops, all potted up and ready to go. Sarpo Oxona, 2, 4, 6, 8, 8 and a single potato in a normal pot. And then the Sapo Mira, 7 and a single potato in the pot. Now the Blue Annalise, what I've actually done is I've done 3 per pot, because I think they're a slightly smaller potato anyway, and plus I was running out of compost. But that's got all these ones done, so that's 8 of those. I've used up all my tubs of used compost, so I've got to get some more because the bags over there are all I've got left at the moment. And I still have the Apaches down here. I worked that out. I'm going to need 9 pots for those, and that's 4 in a pot. The Ratty works out at 7 pots, I believe it was. And then the Kestrel, because I think these are a larger potato anyway, I'm going to do 2 per pot, the same as with the main crops. So that's another 5 pots for that. So, yeah. Well, that's enough for today, I think. I've got to get up and do some more. There we go. Yep, so that's it for today. What am I going to do? Hopefully I'll be back on and do another one shortly. Not as long a gap as this time, but you know. Anyway, if you can share the video with anybody that you think might be interested, because I want to try and bump the subscribers up a little bit. Cheers. Bye bye.